Hello, hello. Welcome to the Eco Energy Podcast, straight from Latin Solar Convención. Today, I have the great guest, Ross. How are you, Ross?
Doing good, man.
Awesome.
Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. I wanted to hop on. Ross is a mastermind. Ross knows a lot of things that a lot of people don't. He is a veteran in the solar industry, and he is one of the reasons why I'm here today. He's helped out a lot. I've always heard people join a company, right, that doesn't pay them out. I just heard stories right now on stage about, 3 months of work that they didn't get paid out, and that really affected them. I never went through that because of Ross.
Thank you.
Ross, thank you. I want to say thank you, man, in front of the camera for always being real with everything, keeping it straight. I've never questioned anything at all, and thank you for the opportunity too.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was fortunate to not have to learn the hard way, but I know that the quickest way to run a business into the ground is not to appreciate your guys and pay them.
100%.
And so that's rule number one. If you're going to be successful in business and be at it for a while, pay your guys.
Pay your guys. And Ross pays his guys.
Always.
On time.
100%.
Always.
Yep.
Even earlier sometimes.
With
little
only at events.
Yeah. We cool over here. Hey Ross, I wanted to ask you, man. Obviously, you run a solar team. You've been doing it for years. You're one of the OGs in Yuma. For those who don't know, the reason there's other teams in Yuma is because of Ross. It all sprouted from Ross. You essentially brought the Yuma market to place. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
Okay, so I want to know, bro, how'd you get started in this? How'd you start in solar, and what led to creating a team and then being in Arizona?
Yeah, thanks, man. This is my first podcast, so
my fourth one.
I appreciate you for breaking me in here. So
yes, sir.
As far as getting started, I've been doing solar for it seems like forever. Mm-hmm. But I think I started in 2012. I was living in Utah with my family.
Okay.
I kind of grew up with a bunch of guys that worked at Vivint, who went door to door selling home alarm systems, pest control over the years. A lot of the people that I knew went away for a few months during the summer, came back with a lot of money. And I'd actually had a background as an electrician way back in the day. I got out of that and got into sales and realized that I could actually talk to people and make heads and tails out of some complicated things and help people out. So I thought, man, if I could do electrical stuff related to solar, continue to do sales, go out and make a fair amount of money for my family, it just, all the stars aligned. I ended up leaving my family in Utah for a hot minute, went to Maryland with Vivint Solar.
Okay.
OG, yeah, one of the first teams over there. Knocked on some doors, did really well. I think I sold 75, 80 deals in about 6 months.
Wow.
And then came back, talked to my wife. I couldn't convince her to move out to Maryland, so we decided to transfer to San Diego.
Okay.
I moved my family to San Diego. Was there for a year and a half. I actually transitioned from Vivint Solar over to Solar City.
Okay.
You ever heard of Solar City?
Yes, I have.
Work with them for a hot minute. Realized I could make 3 times as much money with half the cost of living in Arizona. So I moved from San Diego over to Arizona in 2016. Been there ever since. And I transitioned out of Solar City, started my own thing, Spartan Solar, and ran into fine gentlemen like yourself here, Vance.
Thank you, sir. Some
people that I got a long history with and a good history. So we've done a lot of good things for people in Yuma over the years.
Yes, and thank you for that too. Because a lot of teams here from Yuma are because of Ross. One of the things I wanted to ask Ross, your transition from electrician to sales, it doesn't sound pretty, right, when you say it like that. How was it? How did it take an impact on your family, and was it nerve-wracking? Was it a scary transition?
Yeah, it was, because for anyone that's been there, working in an establishment, maybe for a corporation, somewhere you've got steady income, you show up, you put in your time, you get paid every Friday or every other week or whatever. There's a consistency there that can it can make you feel complacent, kind of secure but complacent, and sometimes that's good for some people. for me, it wasn't the case. I knew that you never get ahead and have the lifestyle that you want by trading hours for dollars. So I knew in sales, you could actually work harder. You could, either work harder or work smarter, a combination of both, and create exponential amount of money. And so it was natural for me to get into sales, where you could kind of use your skills and your abilities to help people and to provide value and be compensated accordingly for it. So
Awesome.
That's how it worked out for me. It was scary, but it was a good decision, and I feel like our family's been blessed because of it.
So the sacrifice was worth it, moving from where you were all the way to San Diego, California, and then to Arizona.
Yeah, it was. God bless my wife and my kids for following me through that process. It's been an experience, but it's been a good one. And sometimes those challenges create character and help you to get out and get ahead and learn some things and become a better person. So that's been the case for us.
Awesome. So whenever you moved from San Diego to Arizona, how fast did Spartan Solar start? How fast did you start your?
So it's crazy enough. We moved to Arizona 4th of July weekend. The hottest time of the year is 197 degrees. That was the summer of 2014.
Okay.
And then it was the end of 2015 that I started Spartan Solar, and we started selling deals in Yuma in January of 2016.
2016.
So yeah, it's been a good run in Yuma. We're still running strong. There's been a lot of people that have worked within the Spartan Solar organization, a lot of good relationships and history over the years. And there's transition obviously, and people kind of go where their opportunity is. But there's some really good people out there still working in the Yuma market that I've had the pleasure of working with over the years. So it's been fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Ross, it's not very common for sales organizations to last as long as yours, right? What was one of the things that, besides getting your guys paid on time and paying them, that continues the success for you, man, that continues the sales company running strong as it is now?
Yeah, good question. And, to be honest, I'm still learning. I'm not going to write any books anytime soon, but I feel like going through the experience teaches you some things. But I think being genuine and honest with the guys, being willing to do things that ask of your guys, things that you've been willing to do yourself, and having that hands-on experience, I think that makes a big difference. And then just knowing that it's a team effort. You don't get very far in life, being a captain solo and trying to do your own thing all the time. So I feel for me, like you're only as good as the people that you surround yourself with. One of the things as Spartan, I believe that you're only as good as the warrior to your right and the warrior to your left. And in the last 6-12 months, I've had a phenomenal relationship with Fernando Zavala and the Eco Energy family, and it just made sense to kind of align the values and the integrity and mix the Spartan Solar culture with the Eco Solar and bring those services together that we offer. So it's been a good transition.
So what made you decide, Eco, because before transitioning with another company, there's a lot of things to think of, right? The first one would be the people you're working with. If you can't trust someone, you can't do business with them, right? If they have negative intentions and all they're trying to do is get commission and, build this thing just for their own benefit, it's tough to partner up with someone. How did it come about that, you trusted someone enough like Fernando to move forward and say, you know what, I think this might be the right person to do this with?
Yeah, good question. It's funny. I trust my wife a lot, and funny thing, my wife has that gut instinct a lot of times where she can meet people and she can tell quickly like who has integrity and they're the real deal, whereas some people aren't. And unfortunately, I don't always listen to my wife, but when I do, good things happen. And so with Fernando, I'd known Fernando for 2 or 3 years now, and we'd had some interactions, and I kind of been a fan of his for a long time. I've seen him in work. He owned his own business. He built something from nothing in the Eco brand in Yuma and growing very fast. It's been phenomenal. So a guy with that kind of integrity, with that work ethic, he's a guy that walks the walk and talks the talk. And great family. Alma is phenomenal. Just really good people. And at the end of the day, like there's intangibles that you really can't do without, and to have those good people in your life, that means more than money. It means more than fame and success. I'm not really about those things, but I'm about working with people like Fernando and Alma and the Eco family. So
yeah. So when did this transition happen? Earlier this year, right?
Yeah, we kind of kicked the idea around because Fernando he started Eco Energy doing roofing projects. And we'd been working together doing solar deals because, roofing and solar goes hand in hand, obviously. And so while we were working together with solar, he kind of got to know me a little bit. I got to know him a little bit. And then, we kind of parted ways and then came back together maybe about this time last year. It's been about 12 months ago that we started kicking the idea around of kind of putting the band back together and joining forces. So we worked out some details and strategized. And then I think, maybe spring of this year is when we officially launched Eco Energy Services with the solar division. And yeah, man, it's been good. There's ups and downs, obviously, and some learning curves that we go through, but yeah, I can't beat working with the right people.
Yeah, working with the right people is very important. I'd say one of the most important, right? Because without the right people, you can't build. And, the company's not going to stay running and functioning if it was the wrong people, right? We know that people get greedy really quick.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's one of those businesses where a lot of cash flow comes in, and it's easy for people to say, hey, you know what? I might not pay my rep for this. We've seen it happen over and over. I hear it all the time. I hear it in Yuma too, and that's what happens when you don't work with the right people.
Like, for the record, that's what not to do. You always got to pay your guys. And people work hard for their income. Things happen. There's disagreements, but you should never lose partnerships or friends, family over money. So
monetary reasons. I agree 100%. Ross, one last question, man, before I let you go. It was tough getting Ross on here just for your information.
You guys are a good salesman.
Thank you. I close them,
big time.
Feel felt found. I understand the way you feel.
I only do it for Vince. It's special.
Thank you.
Special to me.
Ross, one thing, man, obviously, or a couple things, sorry. Solar from when you started 2012, right?
Yeah.
Till now, a lot of things have changed. Not necessarily just with, we know interest rates are up, we know dealer fees are up, we know all these things, and we know the products. But how did you see it change the most from 2012 till now?
Yeah, good question, man. I appreciate that. It's funny. When I started, it was still relatively new. It's a simple concept. It was a novel concept. It was really easy to talk about it with people because they really didn't know anything. So you could spend time educating them and helping them understand how it works. And then you kind of see an evolution of solar over the years.
I'm almost going to boom up. What are those records on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just get closer, speak on them.
So with the evolution, you see kind of whereas all about education and helping people to go solar, there was a lot of early adopters. It seemed like that the industry was a little bit easier to work with. It's a lot more sophisticated now. And you have to know your stuff. Like, not just study, be a student of the game.
Yeah.
And so that's the kicker. It's just being a student of the game, constantly educating. I don't like the term sales because that's really not what this is about. So just being consistent with your learning and being able to help people instead of go for a paycheck.
Awesome. Odyssey, last question. We're done. The music just started, so we have to wrap it up regardless.
Okay.
What's one thing or one tip that you would give someone out just starting in the solar industry?
Yeah, that's a good one. I've thought about that myself, and the thing that I would say is that anytime you start something new, it's going to be hard, man. You can't walk into something and have all of the chips fall into place right out of the gates. So you almost have to embrace the challenge and expect to get your butt kicked, so to speak. So the faster that you can own that and realize it's going to be hard, it helps. As you go through that learning curve, you have to earn your keep. You have to take your lumps, stay with it, and consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
And at the end of the day, man, you stay with it. It'll come together. But it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it.
Yes, sir. Ross, brother, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Direct from Latin Solar Convención. You don't want to miss the next one. Thank you, guys.